So we welcome you, Redondo Beach folks. Love to see you all live, and we love and welcome all of you that are watching us on video. And we welcome you to feel this energy and sing along with us in your home. I bet your pets will love it as well. So please join with me.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit.
Woke up this morning with my mind
Stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind
Stayed on spirit.
Yes, I'm
Walking and talking with my mind.
Let's get clapping.
Stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on spirit.
Hallelujah.
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 Dancing and singing with my
Mind.
stayed on spirit.
Oh, dancing and talking with my mind.
Stayed on spirit. Dancing and singing with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. There ain't no harm to keep your mind stayed on spirit. There ain't no harm to keep your mind. These are wiggling over here. Stayed on spirit. Come on. Ain't no harm to keep your mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah. 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 Let's get this one, Andy. We're shaking and baking with our mind.
Oh, I like that.
Stayed on spirit. We're shaking and baking with our mind. Stayed on spirit. We're shaking and baking with our mind. Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah. 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 I'm walking this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Yes, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah. 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 Awesome. Excellent job. Thank you.
Please join me. Recognizing the oneness of life, in this now sacred moment, I choose to quiet my mind, still my body, and open my heart to the love, to the peace, and to the beauty that is present here today in this morning's gathering of my spiritual community. Knowing that today everyone and everything contributes to the flow of this service in grace and ease and harmoniously unfolding. And here today, I am able to deepen my understanding, my conscious connection with my source, remembering that I am here on purpose to be love, showing up by means of me and expressing greatly. So I am filled with gratitude for today's service, for everyone present, knowing that I declare that everyone is blessed. And I simply let go and release this to the divine, and I let it be so, as I say, and so it is.
Thank you, Monica. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone, to our sanctuary. We have sung, we have prayed. Now we're going to take a look at what's going on. And one of the biggest things that's going on today is that we have a guest speaker who is here. Reverend Kusala is sitting here in the front row, and he will be our speaker later on. You are going to be blessed in listening to his topic, 3 easy steps to bring your spiritual practice to life. Now, we do have other things that are going on today as well. After the service, we will have hospitality in Richelieu Hall, and I have been urged to remind you that there are going to be baked goods there to offer. And you can have these baked goods while you shop at the continuing yard sale. Mark Ruth is going to come up and give you a chat about what is yet to come.
This is Discount Yard Sale Sunday. You'll have the opportunity to buy many items, 2 for the price of 1. We'll discount virtually everything, so you'll have a chance to clean up when you purchase these items. Oh, and speaking of cleanup, at 3 o'clock, everything that you haven't purchased has to be packaged up in bags and boxes, put on the stage so that the charity that's going to pick it all up on Monday can have it ready for them. So if you're available for that cleanup, we'd appreciate it too. Thank you.
Now, as Mark said, we are marking things way down, but I didn't hear him mention that nothing is less than $1. That doesn't mean you can't get more than one thing for $1, but we are not dealing with silver today, paper money. We want paper money. So that is the name of the tune. And I know we're going to do this again, but I want to say a really, really big thank you to Mark for this. But I know that Mark would hasten to add, too, that there is a wonderful team of people that worked a lot last week. In fact, yesterday was really a fun fest. People enjoyed the work. It was a togetherness. It was community. And I just appreciate it very much, and I wanted to say that. So thank you, Mark, and thank you to everyone. But then the week continues, and so on Tuesday, Reverend Kathy is continuing her book reading called Your Aladdin's Lamp. It is meeting in a circle right out there in the foyer, starting at 10 in the morning. And those that are coming to this really enjoy the experience. But absolutely, if you've never been and you're just curious, you can show up. You don't have to have been before. You'll pick up what you need and get whatever it is that you're looking for. So that's Tuesday at 10 o'clock. We also, at 11 o'clock, and this will be in the foyer, in Richelieu Hall, we will have yoga class that is also continuing at 11 o'clock. We have a new yoga teacher, and it's a great, great experience, and you can have that for $10 and your mat, show up in Richelieu Hall, and have what I like to think of as a stretching good time. And then on Wednesday morning, we have a Zoom discussion group, and we are reading The Art of Life, and it is a book by Ernest Holmes, and we go very slowly, as does the book reading that Reverend Kathy does. It takes as long as it takes. We're not trying to stretch it out because it's just discussion. And so these discussion groups are very useful. So that's at 9:45, and it's over at 10:30. We also have at 11 o'clock service And the 11 o'clock service is here in the sanctuary as well as on our YouTube channel. You can come to the service in either way that you choose. And Reverend Mary is going to be speaking at the Wednesday service at 11 o'clock on Wednesday, right here in the sanctuary. So then we move to Friday, and we have our once-a-month labyrinth. It, too, is in Richelieu Hall. And since the lessons that the talks have been centered around in the month of June have been about the mind and the body, this is a great opportunity for you to physically experience a mind-body connection as you walk the labyrinth in meditation. It's a great opportunity. We have a beautiful labyrinth. It's at 5 p.m. on that Friday afternoon. And the big thing to remember is you come to our Nob Hill entrance. If you come to our door back here in the parking lot, it'll seem like nobody's home, really. The door that's open is on the Nob Hill side, what we think of as our front side. So that's 5 o'clock, and it is open until 7. And then that moves us all the way to next Sunday. And next Sunday, our speaker is going to be, well, it's going to be me, Reverend Catherine McKinney. And so that's on the 19th Sunday. Thank you. And just a little bit of a note, the Sisters Club that usually meets about this time is taking a break in June, and they will meet in July. So those are the announcements that we have today. So don't forget to shop and have a good time at the yard sale. I think some people have kind of already started, so you can just join in with the throngs and be a part of the community that we have. We appreciate all your support, your financial support, your prayer support, and just the community support that you're offering so many people. It is so much more appreciated than perhaps you can imagine. And we thank you very, very much. And so now we're going to slip into the wonderful song that Dennis Bryan is offering us. Take it away, Dennis.
Good morning, everybody. Wow, this is a nice mic. Great to be back. Boy, it's been a while. In person, in the service, at least 2 years. Oh, you did? Oh, that's right. Yeah, we had some videos. Huh? So this is a song I wrote at the end of taking the foundations class, that was one of the first classes I took in Science of Mind, and it's called There Is. When I close my eyes, I see all that life can be, 'cause it's already there, it's already shared in spirit. When I choose to clear my mind with all the weight of outside, and one becomes all, collective and tall between us. 'Cause there is faith in numbers, there is strength that answers now, if we make our voices heard by ourselves. We will find there is love, there is joy, there is peace. There's a choice to change our thoughts. We can create. When I quiet all my doubts, the truth of life comes out, 'cause it's already there, it's already shared in the oneness. 'cause there is strength in numbers. There is faith that answers now. If we make our voices heard by ourselves, we will find there is love, there is joy, there is peace. There's a choice to change our thoughts. We can create sight when we are blind, and light when roads are dark, and all that we decide. Now there is love, there is joy, there is peace. There's a choice to change our thoughts. We can create change. Thank you. Thank you, Andy.
Oh my goodness. What a magnificent voice. Thank you, Dennis. Wow, I was back there. This is a God bump day for me, I guess. And let's thank Andy, our music director. Let's acknowledge him. And let's thank our sound and video people. There you go. Our Mary Lou back there with the magic wave, yes. So good morning, everyone. We have a special treat today, and so I'm going to quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, a beautiful quote that I found this morning. Live the actual moment. Only this actual moment is life. Don't be attached to the future. Don't worry about things that you have to do. Don't think about getting up and taking off to do anything. Don't think about departing. So when I think about spiritual practice and developing it, it is a discipline that we undertake, and we do it to develop our own sense of spiritual awareness and experiences. But in developing that spiritual practice, it's essential to do it in order to have a successful life. And by a successful life, I mean creating the life that you love, creating a life that makes you wake up in the morning and say, boy, I am so happy to be alive. Now, I don't know about you, but some mornings I'm not quite there because I'm kind of thinking, holy cats, I have a lot of things to do today and I feel overwhelmed, etc. But when we take a deliberate step towards creating the life that we want, we get results, don't we? It's like anything. If we follow a method, we create results. And if you don't like the results you're getting, guess what? It goes right back here. And you get to say, boy, I created that, so now I can uncreate it, right? If I thought it into being, I can think it out of being as well. But it's a matter of practice. Last week I shared a quote that really hit home for me, and that was, we did not come here to heal what's broken. We came here to discover what's whole and true in ourselves. We did not come here to heal what's broken. So feel the difference. One is about fixing something, and the other is, it is about knowing already what's right and discovering what that is. I read an article by Buzz Aldrin, and it was an interview of Buzz Aldrin, who was one of the space explorers, astronauts, that was one of the first guys to go to the moon. And they said to him, wow, how did you have the courage to do what you did? And his answer really surprised me. He said, I didn't have courage. It wasn't about courage at all. And I thought, what? And he said, no, it was my training. He said, I felt confident enough in my training, and I knew that it would bring me success. It's the very same with our spiritual practices, isn't it? The moment that you train yourself every day, to have thoughts that support your vision rather than diminishing it, it all works out. Ernest Holmes said, our mind is like a blackboard. We have chalk and we have an eraser. And whatever we write on that board or erase off that board, they are messages that stay with us and actually kind of dictate the way we're going to live our lives. It's things that we've thought that we believe. So if you want to erase things and get rid of things and replace them with things that are positive and supportive, then we have control over which direction we're going in our life. This teaching reminds us that we're all a part of each other. We're all one. Not only one with each other, but we're one with that source, that power that created us, and that is for us. It's a very different way of living, isn't it? To come from a universe thinking that it already loves us, it already welcomes us, it already knows our oneness, and it already knows us as whole, perfect, and complete. Completely different than a lot of times what we see on the CNN or the constantly negative news, right? So it's a matter of supporting your own thought patterns and your own practices. But again, hearing these words and listening to them is very different than doing it, isn't it? A lot of us are real book smart about a lot of concepts, myself included. And I said, boy, I've got to start putting this into practice. I've got to start saying, these are just words. These are truly things that are meant to be guideposts for ourselves to live a better and more fulfilling life. So to start with, just know that your desire to be more spiritually connected to life is already the motivation, all of it, that you need in order to incorporate a new spiritual practice in your life. So some ideas of spiritual practice would be prayer, meditation, mindful breathing. We did it up in Lake Arrowhead, taking a walk out in nature and being one with nature, practicing gratitude, being present and paying attention, being mindful, conscious breathing, and even drinking a lot of water. I bet half of us don't drink enough water. Being creative, and even yoga and exercise. So when we practice those and you make a concerted effort to incorporate some of these things into your life that help you develop a stronger sense of your own beingness. Remember, we're human beings. We came here to be our great self. So when you incorporate that and know that the universe is for you and that God is always guiding you with all sorts of beautiful ways, you'll be so much more open and receptive to it. There'll be miracles happening all around you. And that is my message for today, and so it is. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Love that song is back in action. How about you? Boy. Okay, and now for the fun. I get to introduce our Reverend Kusla. And he is amazing. I know some of you, yay, some of you have experienced him up at Lake Arrowhead a couple years ago, and he's also spoken here. He plays a mean harmonica, by the way, and that's not in the bio. And I think we're going to hear that too. A mean as in good way, mean, you know. Reverend Kusla is an American-born monk who was ordained in the Zen tradition of Vietnam. He lives and works at the International Buddhist Meditation Center in Koreatown section of Los Angeles. And let us give a warm and heartfelt welcome to Reverend Kusla. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm happy to be here today. It's nice to be anywhere, actually, after 2 years of not being anyplace. As I was listening to Mary talking about Ernest Holmes, and talking about the chalk and the eraser, I find the older I get, the smaller the chalk and the bigger the eraser. As I try to remember the important aspects of my life. So today I'm going to talk about one way to build a spiritual practice. And it's based a little bit on Buddhism, but it's based more on humanism. What it means to be a human being. How does it feel to have a spiritual practice, a daily practice, for the rest of your life? Because it doesn't end ever. I don't understand why that's the case. I wish it did have a time limit, but it doesn't. And I'm reminded about a movie that I saw just a couple weeks ago on one of the retro channels called Razor's Edge, 1946. And I thought, man, this is so cool, you know? He went to the top of the mountain, Larry, to the top of the mountain. And he found it. And it changed him forever. And now we get to the end of the movie, and Larry is leaving his woman who tried to connive him into having a relationship, and it really didn't work, and blah, 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 blah. And she says, "Where's he going? Where's he going?" And the other guy says, "Goodness is a powerful force in the universe." And there goes Larry, the goodness, back into the universe to make a difference. Okay, now I'm thinking to myself, how do we practice goodness? What does it mean to be good? Everybody has their own idea. And can we integrate that into a spiritual practice? And can our spiritual practice be a practice of goodness? And I think it can be. So these are the 3 parts of a goodness practice. Okay, number 1, before you start your practice, you want to elevate your consciousness. And you want to pick something that's meaningful, maybe a poem or something like Thich Nhat Hanh, what he just said. It doesn't need to be long. It doesn't need to be a paragraph or 2, just a short sentence or 2 to allow you to view your life in the world momentarily different. It's just a little bit, just a little different. Okay. So instead of thinking about what's going to be on TV today, maybe you could do what I do. This is part of my morning practice. May I be happy, peaceful, and free from suffering. May no harm come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May no problems come to me. May I always find fulfillment. Now, it's short and sweet, but it just gets me thinking in a little different way. Okay, now I've uploaded that, and now I'm going to work on my goodness practice. And the goodness practice is based on the 5 precepts of Buddhism. And if you don't know what they are, I'll share them with you, and maybe you'll find them to be as important as I do about being good. Okay, number 1, today. We don't want to say this year for the rest of my life, because it just sounds too intimidating. We're just going to talk about today, which is where our life happens anyway. Today, I'm not going to take any life. Okay, so I'm not going to kill anything today. And most of us will probably snicker and say, well, I don't kill anything anyway. But how about that mosquito last night when you're trying to go to sleep? You know, that's worth a kill, you might think to yourself. But now you sort of want to be good. You want to have this goodness thing. And to be good, you can't kill. Okay. And then when you get really good at not killing, then you want to support life rather than take life. Well, how do you support life? Well, you know, one of the ways you can do it is you can take some cat food to an animal shelter or some dog food to an animal shelter to support the life of those little four-legged friends we all know and love, because oftentimes they can't do it for themselves because they're in a city with asphalt and cement and a bunch of cars. Okay, so we take them food, we're supporting life and not taking it. Number 2, today I will not take what is not given. Okay, you know, it's more than stealing though. It's not like today I'm not going to steal anything, but I'm not going to take anything that's not given. So for instance, you need a pencil. And there's a pencil on that table over there, but there's nobody there to give you that pencil or give you permission to use that pencil. And now you're coming with this goodness, and you have to find the person who owns the pencil and ask them if it's okay. And then, what a hassle. It's just a pencil. It doesn't mean anything. It's no value. It's 10 cents. Why am I doing this? Something's wrong with this whole thing. Life should be easier than this. And yet, you reflect, well, I'm practicing to be good. I want that goodness as part of my life. I want to integrate it. I want to take this practice and make it performance. And there is an interesting transition when you go from practice to performance. Ask any musician. They will tell you. They're practicing and practicing and practicing, and one day the miracle happens. The practice turns into performance. And that's what we want to do with this spiritual practice. We want this to be so integrated that we don't even have to think about it. It's just like breathing in and out. It just happens all by itself. So today I will practice not taking what is not given. Number 3. Now I've modified this just a bit. Number 3, today I will practice loving kindness. Okay, now in Buddhism, generally speaking, we don't have love. I know it's disappointing because everybody really likes love. And it's an important concept. And everybody is striving either to have love, be love, give love. But you know what? We have that one word in English, and there's like 10 different meanings, if not more. So Buddhism added kindness to love. And if you're not kind, that's not love. That's not love. Okay, so you want to have love and kindness combined in what you think, what you say, and what you do, and let it manifest in the world in a very skillful way. Loving kindness, loving kindness. Now, some people think, well, if I'm too kind, I can't have boundaries. I have to do what everybody says I should do because I don't want to be mean or cruel. But you know what? It is okay to say no. Just be kind when you say it, that's all. Figure out how to do it. Can you be kind and still have your boundaries? Absolutely. Okay. But it takes a higher level of skill than most of us have in our everyday exchanges and relationships. And this is what we want to practice on. I'm going to practice loving kindness today. In any situation I find myself in, I'm going to enter it with love and kindness. And if I can't have love, I can always have kindness. Okay, number 4. Today I will speak skillfully. How hard is this? Especially if you're like me and give a lot of public presentations and just start talking without being sure where it's going to go and who you're going to insult and who you're going to make uncomfortable. Man. But we have these reference points. Skillful speech is lacking, does not have harsh speech, malicious speech, false speech, or gossip and idle chatter. Those are the things you want to avoid because those aren't skillful speech. And then you say to yourself, well, what am I going to talk about? Well, you know, sometimes noble silence is really good because you'll learn a lot more by listening than you will by talking. But sometimes we can engage in a nice conversation. We just sort of raise the level a little bit. We don't take the low road, we take the high road. Okay. Have you ever had a really intelligent conversation with someone and afterwards realized how pleasing it was to talk about things that are important and meaningful? Yeah, that's so cool, you know? And so we can do it, but it takes practice. So today I will practice speaking skillfully. Now, the last one is today I will avoid intoxicants to the point of intoxication. Now, generally speaking, if you're taking this the way it's written, I will not consume intoxicants. But you know what? Sometimes a little beer or a glass of wine really makes the day just a smidge better. You know? So can we drink, but not to the point of intoxication? There was a famous blues song, I ain't drunk, I just been drinking. Can we get there? Can we be that? And if we can, then our life will be filled with such goodness because we're not going to kill anything or steal anything. We're going to have loving kindness in everything we do. We're going to speak skillfully, and we're not going to get drunk. Okay, that's the foundation of our goodness. And we can all do it, but it takes practice. Now, the secret is, how do you keep this in mind? How do you keep focused on this goodness aspect of your spiritual practice? And the secret is meditation. Oh, no, not meditation. I mean, I just got to sit there and watch my breath and be glad that I don't have asthma? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Well, in a way, but see, we need sustained focus and concentration, a one-pointedness, and we need to cultivate this, and we cultivate it through meditation. And I'll give you a real simple beginning meditation that can take you through the rest of your life. You don't need to add anything or take anything else away. It's meditation on the breath. And you know what? As long as you're still breathing, you can do this kind of meditation. Number 1, you bring your attention to the tip of your nose and feel the sensation going out and coming in, going out and coming in. Now, it's a miracle. And why is this a miracle? Because that sensation can only happen right now. That sensation cannot happen tomorrow. It didn't happen yesterday. Something similar happened, but it wasn't that sensation. And this brings us to the present moment experience of our life, which oftentimes we just neglect because the future is so much more promising and the past is a little, well, disappointing. So now, here we are in the present moment experience of our breath, and it's a sensation, and it's going out, and it's coming in, and going out, and coming in. I want you to think about this for one moment. Has there ever been a time you haven't had a breath for 7 or 10 minutes? Because if that was the case, you would be dead. How unbelievable is it that we have lived our whole life and not missed our breath for 10 minutes? With all the things that go on or could have happened and didn't. That in itself is a miracle. Your life is a miracle because you're still breathing. Wow. Okay, so now here we are, and our mind's a little scattered. It gets distracted rather easily, so we're going to use numbers to tether to the sensation of breath. Numbers are a concept. They don't mean anything. It's part of our language, and we use numbers to express certain things. Okay, like our taxes and our gas mileage and all those important things. But they really don't exist in any real way. So we're going to take this number and we're going to attach it to our sensation of breath, and we're going to either count the inhale, the exhale, or both at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Now, we don't say it out loud, but we say it in our mind. And we go up to 10, and we go down to 1, and we go up to 10, and we go down to 1, and we go up to 10, and we go down to 1. Okay. Sounds easy, but it's not, because our mind has only one job, and that is to think all the time about everything and about nothing and important stuff and unimportant stuff. And then we finally hit the sack, 10 o'clock at night, and our mind doesn't shut off. Now we're ready for dreamland. And we have all sorts of fun dreams, and we're doing this, and sometimes we even dream in color. We hate to wake up because it was such a good dream, and now our mind says, no, you have to wake up because you have to eat breakfast, and I'll tell you what kind of cereal to eat today and how much of it, and 2 cups of coffee, but not more, and I'm going to be watching, the mind says to you, because the mind's in charge until you start to meditate. And then you realize that the mind doesn't have to be in charge, that the mind is just thinking. That's it. It's thinking. That now you have a choice. You can make your mind the master and be in charge of your life and every part of it, or you can make your mind a tool to live a life, to have a choice, to be better, to not be confined to who you are or what you think you are or what they think you are. The mind is very sensitive to all that, and it wants to be something that it's not. It wants to be everything and in charge. And you say, no, not anymore. I'm watching my breath. I see you, mind. I see what you're doing. I see the games that you play, but you know what? Every thought arises and exists and passes away, and if I wait long enough, that thought of who I am or what I should do will go away and be replaced with something else. And so if I have a thought of killing the mosquito, all I have to do is wait long enough and that killing thought goes away. And maybe the thought of catch and release takes its place. I'll get a jar. I'll catch that little guy. I'll take him outside. Who needs to sleep anyway? And you've saved a life. How cool is that? Because you didn't do the first thing your mind wanted you to do. And after being part of the juvenile hall process for 5 years as a volunteer, man, a lot of those kids, those young people are in there because they didn't have a second or third thought. They just did the first thought that came to mind, and it wasn't very skillful. And they were young and didn't know any better. And now they have to be retrained and eventually brought back into community. But sometimes, I'm sure you've heard this, count to 10. You have this feeling, this idea, this urge, this desire. Count to 10. Let it happen. Let it exist and pass away. It always does. Everything changes all the time, as do we. Okay, so now you're there and you're counting your breath and you say, well, I want the more advanced part. I want to be an advanced meditator, because that's where it really counts. So what's the advanced breath meditation? You let the counting go. You just simply rest with the sensation, going out and coming in, going out and coming in. No counting. And all of a sudden, the thoughts start to disassemble and become a little more scattered and a little more silent. Okay, think about this. You just bought a new Kindle, and you can hardly wait to read the new ebook that you just downloaded. And there you are, sitting in your room, and you got the TV on over here, and some people are talking over here, and there you are with your brand new Kindle, and it's just the best book. It turned out to be everything you wanted it to be. But you still have the TV and those people talking, yet you can focus on that book and every word and sentence. That's how this meditation works. You're not going to be able to turn off your thinking. Sometimes it seems to go away, but it always comes back. So the idea is to have this meditation practice in the forefront. Okay, in the forefront, and all the distractions of the mind in the background. And just let it be, it's okay. And I see something's blinking at me, so I might have to get ready to wrap this thing up. So, can you do that? Can you count your breath with having all the stuff going on in your life and have it in your background and not be distracted? And if you can, what you're doing is you're exercising your concentration, your focus, your one-pointedness. And you'll be far less distracted in everything you do, and you'll be able to focus on your spiritual practice every day. And people say, but how long do I have to do it? How long do I have to do this? A week, month, year, 2 years? No, rest of your life. Rest of my life, I got better things to do. Well, the rest of your life is just really what happens today. That's all. So just do it today and see if you feel the goodness. And once you get used to feeling that goodness, you'll be hooked. You won't want to miss a day, because now you look at your life and you see goodness. And that makes a big difference. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate that attention you've given me. And you know what? It's so nice to see faces again. So thank you for your face. I appreciate it. Now, I brought my hand sanitizer because I'm going to be sticking something in my mouth. And who knows where these hands have been. Okay. So this is going to be like a little blues, but it's been a while since I played the blues, so I'm just going to have to feel it rather than think it. But ain't that the way the blues works anyway? Okay. And I brought my large harmonica today. Yes, well, this little guy, let's see if we get the right side here. This little guy makes a big sound in a small body. And here we go. Andy's going to help me. He's going to come in when he feels it as well.
You want to stand up and say thank you? Let's do that because it was wonderful. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Kusala. And what I love is that we have things to think about too for the whole week, food for thought and things to do as well. So it's a wonderful opportunity. This is the time in our service, which is before our offering, that we honor our mission statement, which is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the lives of all we serve. And this is a message. During the pandemic and times when the church has been closed, I came to appreciate the discussion groups that I joined. Even if I didn't come all the time, I benefited from the discussion. I have taken classes before, so maybe that helped me too to be ready for the discussion. Since we've come back in person, I've come to some in-person discussions. I love them too. And both types of discussions, what I like is the way the group listens to each other and comments on their lives in such a personal way. Thank you for continuing the Zoom discussions as well as offering the in-person discussions. I appreciate them all. And thank you for the letter. Thank you. As our ushers are coming down, this is the time of our offering. And so I invite you to see the prayer that is in your program for our offering. And it reads, "Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my gift, and I give my gift with love," or my good. Thank you very much. And now we have our wonderful singer.
Well, you're welcome to play on this one if you want to. It's DGA. I mean, it's easy. I had the pleasure of hearing Reverend Kusala at another church several months, well, probably longer than that, but it was a great message, wasn't it? And it was really a pleasure to hear you again. Thank you for the message. Now I want some clapping. I want some clapping. I want some dancing. Come on, okay? I know you guys like to do that. When you wake up tired, but you got 8 hours of sleep, it's not 'cause you've been burning the midnight oil. You just forgot that what you sow, you reap. Success is not about all the shortcuts and stepping on someone's toes. Plant a seed and just be patient. Watch the richness grow and grow, and just get aligned within yourself. Get right with Spirit's help, 'cause harmony is co-creation, and all it takes is your intention. Hey, 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 hey. That's what I say. Oh, yeah. Traffic is barely moving, and someone gets up under your skin. Coffee's not the reason that you feel rage. Just check the internal state you're in. When your mind is heavy with all the things you think you should do, Remember that you got choices and belief in what is true for you. So just get aligned within yourself. Get right with Spirit's help. 'Cause harmony is co-creation. And all it takes is your intention. Just get aligned within yourself. Get right with Spirit's help. 'Cause harmony is co-creation. And all it takes is your intention. Hey, hey, hey. Spirit's fostering. Humans processing. That's the way it works when you're aligned within yourself. Get right with Spirit's help. 'Cause harmony is co-creation. And all it takes is your intention. Hey, hey, hey.
Within yourself.
That's what I say. Say that with me, ready? Hey, hey, hey.
Harmony is co-creation.
That's what I say.
Your intention.
Hey, hey, hey.
That's
What I say. We'll just keep going.
Hey, hey,
'Cause harmony is co-creation. And all it takes is your intention. Hey, hey, hey. That's what I say. Okay, say this last one with me. Hey, hey, hey.
You said last one. So
Thank you, thank you. Yeah.
you said last one. So
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. This is my friend Leslie singing backup.
thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Dennis. Very nice, Dennis Bryan.
Am I on? There. I will second Reverend Catherine saying that Reverend Kusala's words were food for thought, but the blues music you feel, and I felt that message. That was really, really good. So we're going to have the blessing, and I believe that it's going to be loaded up here, and that's great. And the words are here. So if you will join me, please. I know divine love enfolds me, divine light leads me, divine life lives in me, divine wisdom inspires me, divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life in expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only God. There is only God. There is only God. If you'll please stand, we're going to have the peace song now.
Oh, sure. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family whole are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let